Hello, dear friends. Welcome to another study of the Spiritist magazine. Here we are every Tuesday evening. We look at one of the articles from one of the issues of the Spiritist magazine. As always, welcome. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be with you. Please visit spiritistmagazine.org. Make sure to reach out to our YouTube channels, our Instagram, our Facebook pages, like, subscribe, follow so that we can reach more people with the blessings of the messages we have through Spiritism. Today we're talking about issue 9, and the title of the article is On the Way to Perfection. Remember, dear friends, we are spirits incarnated on the earth. Therefore, we are souls. We have a physical body. The ones who are here in the physical realm, the ones who are in the spiritual realm are truly spirits, including our mentors and guides, those who are studying the Spiritist magazine with us, the mentors of the magazine. We're all on our way to perfection. On issue, during the studies of the Spirit's book, if you regularly study or if you ever read the Spirit's book, I believe it's part 1 of the Spirit's book. It's item 100 all the way from 113, where the spirits will bring to us through the compilations of Kardec's book that we are imperfect spirits and then good spirits and imperfect spirits, and there's a gradation of evolution that take us from creation as simple and ignorant spirits through the different experiences of life all the way to being a perfect spirit such as Christ who guide us today. So don't we want to know about being on our way to perfection? If you visit spiritistmagazine.org, you'll be able to download the issue that we're talking about today, which is issue 9 of the Spiritist magazine. Here's the cover of the Spiritist magazine we're talking about. There's even a very interesting story about an obsessor at the Spiritist Center. Yes, Spiritist Centers can be visited by our obsessors as much as our spirit friends that we call obsessors can visit us at any time. And there are many enlightening articles, poems, a letter from the editor, so on and so forth. And if you have the PDF version of the magazine, I'm going to invite you to join me by moving through the articles to page 12. 12 and 13 on my version. That is the PDF version of the article today. And today we're going to spend some time with the spirit Emmanuel. As we know, Emmanuel is the spirit mentor of our dear Francisco Cândido Xavier, who we lovingly call Chico Xavier. This message is from the book Reconforto by Emmanuel through the mediumship of Francisco Cândido Xavier in this chapter 2, if you happen to possess the Portuguese version of this book. Of course, many of the books that we discuss here and the messages are not yet published in English. That's one more opportunity, one more thing that the Spiritist magazine brings to us that you won't find in many places is first-hand articles in English of the many topics that we talk about. So let's spend some time with Emmanuel from this message. The message is titled, as I said, On the Way to Perfection. Who doesn't want to be perfect, right? But not the perfect way we see perfection on the earth. The true perfection that comes from being a superior spirit, a Christ spirit, in direct connection with God itself. So he says, remember the sowings of blessings on earth if you wish to reach the harvest of higher improvement of superior spirituality. For those listening on SoundCloud or on the app, Kardec Radio, does have an app, a radio. It's a radio after all. I'm reading from the issue of the magazine. Emmanuel continues, there's no building without foundation, just there's no achievement without effort. So let's crop this here because I want to focus on this part. Nowadays, we want, in this era of busyness, in the era of instant gratification, we want everything to come to us right away. and we get really discouraged and annoyed when things don't. So first, in order for us to reach this harvest of higher improvement, to be a superior spirit, we have to have the foundation. And what is the highest foundation we can have on the earth? The teachings of Christ. No achievement without effort. So when we remove the effort from our lives, on the lives of our loved ones, and they achieve things, or we achieve things, there is no really true achievement because someone else had to do it for us. Here comes difficulties, the challenges, and the trials in our lives are effort. Effort and repetition. From the Spirit under Louise in the book Evolution in Two Worlds. It's where we find the opportunities of growth, of personal growth, of truly applying the teachings we learn in this life and the teachings we have learned many lifetimes and the teachings we acquire while we're in between lifetimes. So we need to sow the sowing of blessings on earth. No building without foundation. And that's what we do every week here. We study the foundational books. We study the foundational spirits who bring us this teaching so we can have that touchstone, solid rock touchstone to go from. Remember that Jesus did not ask of us the impossible. The lessons of the Divine Master remain permeated in the simplest acts of nature. A mustard seed, an oil lamp on a nightstand, a lost drachma, 5 loaves of bread, and 2 fish. In the adjacencies of a lake and through humble boats, without gold and without human power, the greatest epic of universal love that humanity has ever witnessed throughout the centuries emerged. So let's look at this. Because Jesus did not ask of us the impossible. He even chose, right? He chose 12 disciples, many others that would come. They were just like you and I. If we listen to, like I do, the New Testament on Audible, for example, which is a way to listen to books, or you pick up the New Testament, you read the actions of the Christ, you'll notice that the apostles were just like you and I. They worked, they struggled, they had doubts. If you read, we go further and read the books such as Good News, Jesus in the Home, especially Paul and Stephen, you will see that throughout their lifetimes they evolved. The apostles evolved to the greatest figures that we think of today. Jesus is not asking of us the impossible. He's asking of us what we can do today to achieve their higher foundation, the higher places in the spiritual realm. But we need to have the foundation of goodness, the foundation of service, the foundation of action. Here are the examples he gave us. Mustard seed, the smallest seed you can find, that becomes, of course, a tree. All seeds become trees, right? Most of them. An oil lamp, that's when we don't hide our light, when we know things, when we can do better, when we can spread the good news of the Christ through our actions and words, we don't hide. And an adjacent of a lake. The area of Galilee wasn't well thought of throughout the times of Jesus, and he chose that region, the humble region around the lake or the Sea of Galilee, to spread his ministry. Do not forget that the work to achieve perfection should begin with the most insignificant aspects or simplest aspects of our lives. Now he's giving us how to. The spirits are so kind to us that they tell us, okay, you need to do this, and this is how you do it. We're so amazed by what they say because they treat us like the imperfect, perfectible spirits that we are in our phases of childhood and in adolescence of development of our spirit. We need those concrete examples. A smile at home And he doesn't notice that he's going to list a bunch of things here, and he's not going to put conditions on it. I smile at home, regardless if they smile back or how I'm feeling. A spontaneous favor on behalf of our friends, our neighbors, especially nowadays when we are so disconnected from one another, knowing of our neighbors. A look of understanding towards those in suffering, a prayer for the enemies, a fraternal gesture, silence in facing slander, silent help to those who are ill, the charity of a good word in aid of those who are absent or away. Do not seek perfection through an artificial virtue. Many examples. This is our to-do list for the week. And notice that he didn't say only when you feel good, only when they treat you well. There's no conditions. Those are ways to work to achieve perfection in our daily lives. Your circle of influence, things around you. Imagine if we all did this just around our circles of influences. And of course, all of our circles will intersect in a Venn diagram. And slowly, society will build to be a much better, more peaceful place. What else does he say? No one start the construction of a house by the roof unless we're fools, and then we do. We are human beings, whether incarnated or discarnated, with our roots still attached to earth, the admirable mother of our development throughout millennia. Do not expect to fly without wings. However, even if we are not angels yet, we can surely become companions of faithful kindness. See, we're still attached to Mother Earth, and the way we treat ourselves, the way we treat others, the way we treat Mother Earth and its parts and compositions, our friends in the lower kingdoms of life, is how we're going to be sowing throughout our lives. And of course, whatever we sow, it comes a time that we need to reap. I want to make a comment that I thought just came to mind, because when we prepare this, we have some things that are on our list to be said, and sometimes the mentors are even kinder to us to remind us. The things that are listed here are some things that you and I can start now, today. And the silence help of those who are ill, for example, a prayer for enemies or friends, a look of understanding and spontaneous favors, those are things that our spirit friends, whether our mentors, familiar spirits, sympathetic spirits, protector spirits, who are all around us, are doing for us all the time, and we don't even mention. We're studying a message from Emmanuel showing our way on the way to perfection. It starts today with the simplest acts of kindness. The books of Andrea Luiz, in the books, the Life in Two Worlds series, Life in the Spiritual World series, which starts with No Solar, and I believe ends with Life Goes On, shows to us that there's a multitude of workers working for you and I and all of the beings on the earth, incarnate and discarnate, animal, vegetable, and human. Even the mineral kingdom has its caretakers. And it's all happening all around us in multiple dimensions of life. There are spiritual aid missions, there are spirits inspiring us in our workplaces for the good. There are spirits coming to hospitals, nursing homes, orphanages, areas of war. If you read the book On the Way to, excuse me, it's planetary transition. and in the way to the world of regeneration by Divaldo Franco, when there's natural disasters, or in case of the two wars we have, the two main wars we have going on in the planet at this time, millions and billions of spirits come down and are helping, sometimes, most of the time, one-on-one. So the amount of goodness and kindness in the universe is unimaginable to you and I. We just see what's there, what's physical, what's right under our nose, what the notifications tell us. But I want you to know that you are not alone. We are not alone. And doing the work to achieve perfection starts, yes, with the small acts in your life, in my life, that no matter what people tell you, do spread. Kindness spreads. Kindness is contagious. So once someone notices how kind you're being to others, they're more likely to be kind as well. They'll see the whole pay forward line thing that people do at coffee places, right? He says, as much as possible, begin today. He doesn't say tomorrow, today. The ministry of goodwill towards everyone, starting on your home sanctuary. And tomorrow we'll be able to reach the blessed equilibrium, higher degrees on the ascensional road of evolution. And see, here asking us to start at the place that sometimes is the hardest, because our loved ones are most likely spirits who have lived many other lives with us, many different networks of love and difficulties, and today we reunite. And then it's very easy to love someone who is afar and help people we don't know. But sometimes it's harder to love the ones who are not right next to us. But we start today towards everyone. It starts at home and it spreads to the communities, to the neighborhoods. And that's what we do together every Tuesday, and all of the hosts of Kardec Radio do. Give what you have and what you are in the benefit of others. If they don't understand you, even so, help them. If you're slandered or oppressed, continue doing your best towards them. If they dislike you, continue helping them in any way you can. This is where love begins, where it becomes present, and where God is. And where God is present, you have everything that you need to find happiness. Because after all, Jesus, the spirits that work with God, are loving us, are being kind to us, are being understanding every single millisecond of our lives from the moment we were created. God is constantly giving His love to all of us. So let's continue to help. Let's continue to engage in the works of kindness, of joy, of service towards one another. That's on the way to our perfection. And one day, surely, hopefully sooner rather than later, we'll also be able to ascend to the higher realms with work, not you wake up tomorrow with your wings and you fly away. That would be nice, right? But we, for each action, for each day, for each year, for each reincarnation, we will move along in our ascension towards the higher realms. And it takes effort and repetition to do so. And we thank Chico Xavier. He's done a lot of effort for you and I to be here today. Our dear friend Emmanuel, who guided his reincarnation and today is helping you and I to know of this teaching so that we can become better. We can attempt to become better each and every day. And we thank the mentors of the magazine for allowing this publication. God willing, we'll return next week with another study of the Spiritist magazine. Between now and then, I wish you well. I wish you remain connected to your community, connected to your loved ones. Take care of yourself and someone else. And God willing, we'll see each other next week. Take care. Bye bye.